what you're looking for in your life is already there. The peace, it's already there. So it isn't like we're here to try to come up with or try to find faults with you and then say, well, let's see how we can improve you. This isn't an improvement session. This is hopefully a fact-finding session to realize what the fact is. Because so much depends upon our perceptions. What does it mean to you, to me, to be human? What does it mean to be alive? You got today, it's almost over. And God willing, you will have tomorrow. And the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. But what does that mean? Do you look at it that way? That I had today? That I am alive today? Or do you look at it, well, I don't know. Was it a good day? Were there problems today? Are there going to be problems tomorrow? So, perceptions have a big thing because we are not looking at reality. And our decisions are being based upon things that are not real. And I'll give you a little story of what I mean. There was a gardener, and this is an old-time story, so his job was to take water to the very top to the king's palace. And every day he had one of these big bamboo poles, and he would hang a big pot in the front and a big pot in the back, and he would get it filled with water and then take it up. And every day he did this. One of the pots in the back got a hole in it. And so, what would happen is as the gardener would take this pole up and the two pots up, the water would leak about midpoint. And when he would get to the very top, one pot would be full and one pot would be only half full. One day, the full pot turned to the pot with the hole in it and said, this is just a story, okay? So pots don't really talk to each other, but so you're meaningless. You're worthless. They said, what do you mean I'm worthless? So, well, you got a hole in you. And every day that this gardener works so hard, and he fills both of us up, he carries us up, half of your water spills out. He only gets to bring half of it up. What good are you? You're worthless. Feeling very sad, not needed, worthless, because of this flaw. One day, the pot with the hole turned to the gardener and said, I'm very, very sad. And the gardener said, why are you sad? He said, well, I got a hole in me. And every day you work so hard, bringing the water up. You fill me down there, and by the time you bring me up, half of the water is gone. The gardener said, "This is true. You have a hole in you. But do you realize what this has meant?" The pot says, "All I see is a flaw. This shouldn't be like this. I should not have this hole. I should be whole so that I too can take all the water out." And he said, "But have you looked? Have you looked on the path that I carry you? On your side, there's beautiful flowers growing. Because when I found out you had that hole, I started planting seeds of flowers. And because of you, because of that hole that you have, every day that I would bring water up, you were watering those plants. And now they are blooming. They are beautiful. And the bees come and partake of their nectar. And there's a whole thing happening that you don't see, but it is because of you. And not because of your perfection, I almost got my fingers tired. But because, thank God, because of your imperfection. All the time you were like that pot that is complete. This would have not been possible. But in that area, from start to where I begin with you, to where the water ends up halfway in you, there's a beautiful garden growing. When I read this story, I didn't come up with it. I read it. I was very touched. I was very touched because we too get so caught in this concept of what is perfect. This concept, this idyllic idea of what is enlightened, of who is in peace, and what is peace, that we forget what is so simply obvious. Obvious.